Hey folks, welcome back to another Paul Master video. So we're actually going to talk about something that some folks on Discord noticed, right? That was pretty interesting. Because we saw the Darkrai trailer the other day, right? Well, the Sinnoh Villain Arc preview trailer, whatever you want to call it. You know what? Let's check out the official name. It's called Villain Arc Sinnoh Chapter. All right, the Villain Arc Sinnoh Chapter trailer. And it was cool, fun, all that stuff, right? Slightly creepy. But we've had some interesting discovery on the Japanese trailer specifically, where if you actually check out the Japanese trailer, and nothing's really different except for the wording of things, where if you check, let's see, if we could find the frame. All right, here's the frame. If you look at this frame, right? So this says Villain Arc, Sinnoh, and then, which is basically what, you know, we say over here. It says Sinnoh chapter of the Villain Arc begins, except for this down here. So look, I don't know Japanese, but those are the exact same characters in Chinese, and I know Chinese. So it basically translates to the first part starts, right? That's what the first two characters down there, the big characters, right, says. It says the first part, right? And it's more of a like first, it's like a first half, second half sort of thing, not like first part, second part, third part. It's probably just, unless there's like a first part, middle part, last part, it's like a first and last thing, not like 1, 2, 3 thing, right? First, second, third, fourth. So what it seems like, it does confirm, because on the English side, it just says Sinnoh chapter of the Villain Arc begins, which is, again, yeah, but on the Japanese side, they say the first part of the Sinnoh chapter of Villain Arc, right, begins. So what that means is what we suspected all along, I guess. Well, at least I suspected, which is most likely we will be getting a second part, right, to this Sinnoh Villain Arc, right? So this should be the first part, and then there should be a second part, right? Most likely, and that's kind of sort of how they did the Kanto one, right? Because although the Kanto one, they released it all in one go. I'm not saying like in that sense, because if you guys remember the Kanto trailer, which by the way, they also said stuff like this, but over here it just says Villain Chapter Kanto. It's like it just says the chapter starts, right? And over here it says the first part starts. So yeah, it seems like in comparison to the Kanto, there's going to be like 2 parts over here. But the thing that I do find slightly interesting, if you do compare it to the Kanto chapter, right, is that if you guys do you know, recall, well, as you can see clearly in the trailer, that Cyrus is getting Darkrai, right? Cyrus is getting Darkrai. And we've talked about some slight spoilers that, you know, have been circulating around the internet about Dawn getting Cresselia in that case, right? So we do have Cynthia with Giratina right now. We have Lucas with the Alga. And does that mean we're going to get a Cyrus with Darkrai and then a Dawn with Cresselia down the line as well? Because here's the thing. People always talk about, oh, this month's a Sinnoh month, right? Sinnoh chapter, Sinnoh month. But, like, not really, because if you look at this month, like, you have, like, 3 expanded Syncgrids are all Sinnohs, right? Gardenia, Cheryl, and someone else, right? Thornton, right? Those are all Sinnoh, all this stuff. But they're not new units. If you look at the new units, it's only 4 new units. One of them is Kanto, Sabrina, right? Sabrina's Kanto. And then Volkner, which he is Sinnoh, but he's not part of the Villain Arc, per se. He's the New Year's unit. He just happens to also be Sinnoh. So if you're looking at, like, the Sinnoh units, right, there's only 2, which is Cynthia from the Prelude, and then Lucas once the thing starts. And we get the 6REX for Cyrus. Like, you know, Giovanni got a 6REX, you know, when that happened as well, right? So when you're looking at it, there's only 2 units, which is not as much as you'd think, right? It's only 2 units. So looking at that, and then if you compare it back to the Kanto arc, right? Kanto had 4 Kanto and Far, they initially gave us Pokefair Red and Pokefair Classic Blue, right? And over here we got Pokefair Lucas, Massifair, Singsu Renegade Cynthia. But then afterwards, they also gave us Sinnoh Suit Erica and Singsu Misty, which those two are also, you know, pretty big parts of the villain arc as well. And you just do wonder, because it doesn't match up, right? You could say, oh, that's just because Pokemon hates Sinnoh and loves Kanto, which makes no sense. There's like 3 Sinnoh games going on right now, right? There's BDSP, the Legend of Arceus. We're having Sinnoh Arc over here and Masters. Like, no. It just makes sense that there should be more, right? And again, the story does seem like there's going to be stuff going on with Darkrai with Cyrus. So that again also makes that much more likely, right? So in terms of who we're gonna get for Sing Suits, again, Dawn, Cyrus could be very good candidates for that. It's just that I just wonder, are they gonna give us like Dawn as a spotlight? Because what happened with Singsu Misty and Singsu Erica, right, was both of them were spotlights. And you're saying, well, you know, Dawn, if it's a Singsu Dawn, it should be Pokefair, right? No, well, not really. Not really, because there's a lot of Singsu that are just spotlights, right? Singsu Grimsley, Singsu Elisa, Singsu, again, the Erica, Misty, etc., right? They're all regular, you know, spotlight scouts. So could they relegate Dawn to a spotlight and maybe do another Pokefair for like Cyrus with Darkrai? Because like you could say, well, they had like Vaporeon and Leafeon, and they're not really gonna throw in a legendary for spotlight scouts. Well, first of all, they already have Ultra Beasts, which are technically classified in the game code as legendaries that have been spotlight scouts. They have Silvally, which is just a straight up legendary, right? We just had a Calyrex as a seasonal, right? It wasn't a Pokefair, it wasn't a Massifair, it was just a seasonal. So and Cresselia, like we straight up, like Cresselia's a legendary arena unit, right? And we straight up have a lot of legendary arenas just as like free BP units, right? With Entei, Regirock, and what was the other one? Combatant. So I don't see why they can't just make Dawn a spot, or Singsu Dawn / Cresselia a spotlight in this case. Can it also still be a Pokefair? I could definitely see that, right? It's just that might be a bit too many Pokefairs in a row, right? That's gonna be what? If Cyrus is also a Pokefair, Dawn's also a Pokefair, that's 3 Pokefairs in a row. It's like Massifair, seasonal, Pokefair, and then we have Palantines in February as well. Right, might be a bit too much. Although, to be fair, a lot of Gotcha's games straight up don't have like regular pool units or new regular pool units that release. Like every single new banner is a limited one. So you know, at least Paul Masters actually gives us some, you know, regular scouts once in a while. But again, it depends on how it's gonna go, right? And that's why, even though tomorrow we're getting Lucas and Dialga, which is very powerful, very hype, the banner lasts for a very long time. It lasts for like another month and a half, right? So there's really no rush into summoning him, when you could just wait and see what's coming up next first before you just go all in on Lucas, right? So yeah, I think looking at how that goes first should probably be better than just dumping all your gems in for, unless you really like Lucas, you love Dialga, then go for it. But outside of that, right? So just something to keep in mind. Sinnoh Villain Arc, we're just having part 1. Most likely, I'd say 90% we're gonna get a 95% even probably gonna get a second part of the Villain Arc. Although I guess there could be a remedy to that. Where they, instead of releasing part 2 next month, they go hold part 2 and release it at a later date, right? They could release it at a later date maybe, which then, you know, if they do like a dual Pokefair, Cyrus Darkrai, Dawn Cresselia, that would be super hype, right? If that happens and all that. So I think that could be, again, a remedy for that. Or they could just release it next month, right? It's just that I feel like, again, it's possible we could get some hype stuff next month, because again, we're definitely getting Valentine's next month, that's for sure, at least. But it's like, man, this month was already super hype with units, and then the month before was super hype with units, and then 1 month later we're getting 2.5 years anniversary, which is going to be incredibly hype, whatever that is. I just feel like maybe because sometimes they like giving some dead months in between to chill a bit. So, or maybe that's why they give us so much free gems. Or maybe that's why they give us so much free gems, because they know there's a lot of stuff coming. So we'll see. It could be next month. It could be later on. Maybe they'll do like first part of all these like Villain Arc stories first, and then they'll release the second part of all these. I don't know, right? Because again, it felt like the Kanto arc, even though it was pretty complete, right? It did feel like the Kanto arc kind of fell on a bit of a cliffhanger. Not like a huge one, right? But I was thinking maybe a cliffhanger. Maybe it's not for Kanto Part 2. Maybe it's just for Johto, because Johto also Team Rocket, right? We'll see. Again, just speculation, right? So anyways, that's really this one. I guess hope you all know. I'm like, guys, think in the comments down below what you think is going to happen, right? Like, enjoy this video, so we're on channel for some more Pokemon content. I'll see you guys in the next one then.